Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 4th Annual Pride Flag Raising Ceremony with Mayor Muriel Bowser. My name is Tara Hoot, and it is an honor to stand alongside the D.C. City Government as we reaffirm our commitment to advancing LGBTQIA+ equality and safety for all residents. Today marks the first day of Pride Month. A time of celebration for many in our community. It's a joyous reminder of how far we've come in securing our rights and our ability to live openly without fear or intimidation or violence. Yet it is also a moment to recognize that the fight for LGBTQIA+ equality is far from over. This struggle persists at both the city and national levels as federal powers continue to attack our bodily autonomy and the physical safety as queer people. Here in the district, we see this fight manifest in our ongoing efforts to reclaim agency, autonomy, and freedom from federal overreach, whether through law enforcement presence, executive actions, or the agendas of those who seek to undermine us as district governing bodies and residents alike. It is today, though, that in spite of these continued attacks, we take a moment and give thanks to the LGBTQIA+ community who has made this city so great. From William Dorsey Swan, a former enslaved person who became the first documented drag queen and the first person documented to challenge the federal government on LGBTQIA+ equality. Absolutely. To the Black D.C. residents who built the first of its kind Black Gay Pride, something the U.S. had never seen at that scale. And to those who strive to make our schools, streets, and homes more loving and affirming on all fronts for our youth, the future of this movement. Absolutely. Go youth, right? We need them, all right? In honor of this legacy and with respect to the fight ahead, I welcome Director Japer Bowles of the Mayor's Office of LGBTQI Affairs up here to speak.
Happy Pride, everyone! Well, good afternoon, and thank you for being here as we raise the LGBTQIA+ Pride flag at City Hall once again. First, I want to thank Mayor Muriel Bowser for entrusting me with the honor of serving as the director of the Mayor's Office. Public service is a privilege, and I'm truly grateful every day for the opportunity to help lead this work on behalf of our city. I also want to thank you, our community, to the advocates, to the elders, the activists, business owners, faith leaders, families, and young people who have placed their trust in me and this office. Thank you. Everything we accomplish is built on the foundation you laid in the future you continue to imagine. This year is special, especially because we celebrate 20th anniversary of the Mayor's Office of LGBTQ Affairs. For 2 decades, this office has helped make Washington, D.C. one of the most welcoming and affirming cities in the world. We have expanded LGBTQ services across agencies, invested millions of dollars into community organizations, championed culturally competent care and training, supported LGBTQ businesses and workers, and celebrated our history. And last year, we helped bring the world to Washington through historic moments like World Pride 2025. But anniversaries are not just about looking back. They're about understanding what is possible when people refuse to accept the progress that has limits. 20 years ago, there were people who believed this office would never exist. There were people who believed our community would never fully be seen. There were people who believed that equality was something to be postponed, delayed, or denied. And yet, here we stand. That is what this flag represents. It is not just a symbol of pride. It is a symbol of persistence. A reminder that every right we enjoy today was won because someone before us decided that our future could be better than our present. And now it's our turn to protect the progress we've made, our turn to create opportunities for the next generation, our turn to ensure that every LGBTQIA+ person, regardless of who they are, where they come from, or whom they love, knows they belong here. So as this flag rises above our nation's capital, may it remind us not only of how far we have come, but how much more is possible. But before we raise this flag, I want to take a moment to recognize someone whose leadership has helped make this possible, Mayor Bowser. Mayor Bowser, this is our final Pride Month together in these roles, and I want to say thank you. Today, when we look at Washington, D.C., they see this city as one of the most welcoming and affirming cities in the world for LGBTQ plus people. And that did not happen by chance. It happened because of countless community members like the ones here. They fought for it, and because of leaders like you and the ones that we join. They listened, we partnered, they partnered, and we acted together. So as we celebrate Pride, as we recognize the 20th anniversary of the office, and as we raise this flag in our nation's capital, I hope that we also take pride in the legacy that we built together. A legacy that tells everyone and every young LGBTQ person, look up at this flag. Well, it's not there yet, but you belong here. Your government sees you, your city values you, and your future is bright. And with that, please join me in welcoming Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Good afternoon, DC. As I like to say, we're celebrating Pride Month in the gayest city in the world. 51 years of pride in the future 51st state. And both movements are rooted in the same belief. Every person deserves to be seen, heard, and fully represented. I am so proud as your mayor to help celebrate 20 years of the Mayor's Office of LGBTQ Affairs. I want to recognize Japer Bowles and our entire team. Give them a big round of applause. To have worked on very substantial, impactful, and meaningful initiatives in our administration. I also want to take a point of personal pride and privilege in acknowledging 3 of my staff members in the EOM. I want to acknowledge Tomas Talamante. Give Tomas a big round of applause. There is Tomas. I want to acknowledge Steve Walker. Thank you, Steve, and give Steve a big round of applause, my Chief of Staff and Deputy Chief of Staff. And I want to acknowledge my Director of Correspondence. I'm getting the title wrong, I know, but Jim Slattery. Give Jim a big round of applause. These men have helped me all along the way in making sure that we have been strategic, not only in how we support the LGBT community, but how we move this entire government. And I am proud of you all. So again, many, many thanks. And so I want to help, and I join with all the members of the council, the Attorney General who is here. We speak with one clear voice, that DC, of course, is a welcoming city, but also that we know that our work has been robust, but it is not done. We fly this flag in front of the John A. Wilson building because it tells our story. It tells the story of a city that takes care of itself, and we take care of each other. We are a city that is diverse and welcoming, and we know that we have to tell our own story. Last year, we welcomed the world for World Pride 2025. We showed them exactly who we are. And even with the rain, people were out, out for Black Pride. So as has already been said, it is up to us to continue to speak, to invest in the things that make a difference in people's lives. Housing, healthcare, public safety, employment opportunities. And along all of those areas, we have made great progress, and there's still so much more to do. So while this moment is bittersweet for us, I am so grateful that you have given me this opportunity to lead the best city in the world for the best people in the world, and I am heartened by this, that all of the 37,000 people who work for us and all of the people who lead our agencies, they come to work each and every day for all the right reasons to do the best for the most as fast as humanly possible. And when we leave in January, because we're running through the tape, we know that we will leave our city a safer city, a bigger city, a city that has grown in revenues and investments and in programs and services. We would have defended our home rule, and we will be ready for the next generation of leaders to take us to the next level. So with that, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. All of us in DC government, raise your hands. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you have done for all of us. And now it brings me great pleasure to introduce our Attorney General, Brian Schwab, who I've had the pleasure of knowing and watching. You know, people say this about me. You'll appreciate this. I've enjoyed watching him grow in his role, defending the resident. They usually deserve that for the women. So I'm going to use the young ones, right? Am I right? I've watched, enjoyed you growing in your role in defending the residents of Washington, D.C. It's my pleasure to introduce your Attorney General, Brian Schwab.
Well, thank you, Madam Mayor. Hello, D.C. Happy Pride. I am so delighted and happy to be here again this year as we kick off Pride Month and once again raise the pride flag up above our City Hall, our Wilson building, to celebrate loudly and proudly our extraordinary community here in the District of Columbia. What an amazing sight, and how lucky am I to be in this extraordinary company. Last year when we were here, we gathered to raise the flag, and we were getting ready to welcome the world to the District of Columbia to celebrate World Pride. It was especially fitting that Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, and proudly, as the mayor said, America's gayest city, was hosting World Pride for the globe. But at the same time, we knew that we were also hosting an administration whose policies and positions posed the greatest threat to the LGBTQ community that we had seen in decades. I wish I could say it was otherwise, but over the last 12 months, those threats have not disappeared. Like Washington, D.C., which has gotten used to being not yet a state and therefore often used as a political football in a divisive national political conversation, so too are members of the LGBTQ community, too frequently used as pawns, as puppets in a mean-spirited, dehumanizing campaign aimed at seizing partisanship advantage, often at the expense of human decency. I wish I could say the law, as interpreted and established by our High Court, was an antidote to that divisive mean-spiritedness. But just this term, we're seeing cases that continue to roll back civil rights, voting rights, and human rights. We're seeing cases limiting medical care for transgender youth, while at the same time greenlighting so-called conversion therapy. We're seeing cases excluding Planned Parenthood from Medicaid, excluding transgender girls from participating in sports, and excluding storybooks with LGBTQ characters from our school libraries. We're living at a time when laws and institutions that we have come to expect would uphold values of inclusion are instead endorsing policies of exclusion, and it can feel dark. But today we are standing proudly and loudly together as we hoist this flag up over our City Hall, and in that act, together, we are bringing light into that dark moment. And as your Attorney General, I am committed to using the law to protect all residents of the District of Columbia. Part of our mission is to fight for Washingtonians' civil rights and voting rights and constitutional rights, for Washingtonians to be free from discrimination, and that includes the right to be our authentic selves, to freely express our identities and ourselves, to be who we are, and to love who we love. So please remember that the Office of Attorney General, in that office you have an ally standing with you, shoulder to shoulder. Whether you live in D.C., you work here, or you're visiting, We will fight with you and against discrimination and hate wherever it raises its ugly head. And with that, we remember the commitment to do that is not just for the month of June. We celebrate now, but this is a year-long and an ever-long commitment to one another. So thank you for standing strong and being part of the struggle. I look forward to seeing all of you in a couple of weeks at the Capitol Pride Parade, one of my favorite days all year long. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being in the fight.
And so now, thank you, Brian, for your words. And I want to introduce my old friend, emphasis on old.
You're growing.
And I want to acknowledge how much he has grown in his role. That's my new joke. I like it. And all the members of the council was here. I don't want to miss anybody. I'm going to recognize Brianne because I see her right in front of me, and she's going to be outgoing like me. But let's give her a round of applause for her work in Ward 1. And I just want to say to Phil, he's a great leader. He knows this process, and he knows that when the mayor sends some good legislation and great budgets, how to make them work. So with that, my friend, Phil Mendelson.
Slay Queen. So there's a saying that everything that needs to be said has already been said, but not by me. I do want to acknowledge my colleagues who are here: Brianne Nadeau, Brooke Pinto, Matt Fruman, Zachary Parker, Wendell Felder, Donnie Crawford, our newest member, Christina Henderson, and Robert White. It's not everybody on the council, but it does demonstrate what we all know, which is that the council, like the rest of the government, has been a strong supporter of LGBTQ rights. And in fact, as I was standing here, I was thinking our support for the gay and lesbian community goes back to 1970, at least 1978, if not 1975. Long-standing, because that's where this city is, in its commitment to diversity and to pride. I should have actually started my remarks by saying, Happy Pride! Happy Pride! So, as I said, I want to take this time to show our commitment to supporting and highlighting LGBTQ plus community and its vital contributions to the district's rich, vibrant, and diverse history. As has been noted by others, there is unfortunately federal leadership who would like to silence and diminish the light from our LGBTQ plus community. We know how important these voices are, how all of the voices of our rich and diverse community are. And we will, as a council, as a mayor, I think I can speak for you, Queen. We will always stand up for the community. We are excited to welcome all visitors and residents to Capitol Pride this month. We can't wait to show them a world-class cultural and hospitality experience. This flag is just the start of the symbol of our support and appreciation for the richness of our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we're all growing.
All right. Yes.
That was amazing.
And then I think we're about to walk over now. And one last point of personal privilege, I want to acknowledge my brother, the first brother, Marvin Bowser. Thank you, brother, for all of your support. And let's raise the flag.